The notification sound ripped through the darkness at 2:11 a.m. I was 8 months pregnant, lying on my side because that's the only position where I could breathe anymore. Marcus wasn't in bed. Third night that week, he'd fallen asleep on the couch. I reached for my phone to silence it. Cash app notification. Transfer complete. $50,000 sent to @soulmate_XO. I read it 3 times before my brain caught up. 50,000 pounds. Our entire house deposit. 3 years of packed lunches and charity shop clothes.
Gone.
Sent to someone called soulmate_XO at 2:11 in the morning while I was pregnant with his child. My hands shook as I opened the app. Balance. 847 pounds and 23 pence. Everything we'd saved. Vanished. I walked downstairs in my nightgown, one hand on my belly, the other gripping my phone like evidence. Marcus was sprawled on the sofa, fully dressed, his phone face down on his chest, rising and falling with his breath. He looked peaceful, innocent. I picked up his phone. No passcode. He'd removed it months ago, said it was so I could answer calls when he was in the shower. Such a sweet gesture of trust. The Cash App was still open. Beneath that 50,000-pound transfer were dozens more. Scrolling back through months, 200 pounds, 500 pounds, 1,000 pounds. Some with heart emojis. One just said, "For us." The earliest was from May. May, when I told him I was pregnant. I didn't wake him. I didn't scream. I just stood there, feeling our daughter kick inside me, and realized I'd been living with a stranger. But the money wasn't the worst part. When I found out who soulmate_XO actually was, everything I thought I knew about my marriage, about my entire life, shattered in ways I never could have imagined. And my name is Charlotte. I'm 31. 6 days ago, I thought I had everything figured out. Marcus and I met at university. Married at 25. Moved to Manchester for his job. I became a primary school teacher. We were that couple, the one everyone said would make it. When we finally saved enough for a house deposit, it felt like we'd won. 3 years of sacrifice. Every spare pound into our joint savings account. Our future fund. I got pregnant last April. Marcus seemed thrilled, started working longer hours, said he wanted to make senior associate before the baby came. The distance between us, I blamed it on stress. Normal stress. When he started sleeping on the couch, I thought it was my snoring, my pregnancy pillow taking up too much space. When he removed his phone passcode, I thought it was trust. I was so stupid. That morning, I waited until he left for work. He kissed my forehead, said he'd be home late. Client dinner. The moment his car pulled away, I logged into his email. He'd saved the password on my laptop months ago. His inbox looked normal. Then I checked the trash folder. Hotel confirmations. 3 different London hotels over 6 months. All weekend bookings. Weekends he'd told me were conferences. Receipts from restaurants I never heard of. Jewelry purchases. A spa day package. All paid from our joint credit card in amounts small enough that I never questioned them. But no names. No emails to soulmate_XO. Then I remembered the Cash App pattern and had an idea that made me sick. I opened Instagram and searched Marcus's followers. He barely used social media. Maybe 100 followers. Mostly colleagues and university friends. That's when I saw her profile picture. A woman with blonde hair holding a coffee cup with XO, written in foam. Username @EmilySoulmate.
Emily.
Marcus's brother's wife. The room spun. Emily and Daniel lived in London. We saw them 4 times a year. Emily had thrown me a baby shower 2 months ago. She'd sat in my living room, eaten cake, called me sis. I clicked her profile. Public account. Aesthetic photos, inspirational quotes, coffee shops. I scrolled to May. A photo of her hand holding someone else's hand. The caption, "Sometimes the universe brings you exactly who you need." #soulmate, #new beginnings. The hand was wearing Marcus's wedding watch. I kept scrolling, my heart hammering. June. Late night conversations with someone who actually gets me. July. It's getting harder to pretend. But soon. Crossed fingers. August. He told me he'd leave her. I want to believe him. Leave her.
Me.
While I was 6 months pregnant. Then I found the post from 3 days ago. A pregnancy test. Positive. Caption. Double the joy. Double the fear. He doesn't know yet. But everything happens for a reason. Pregnant woman, #blessed, #baby number 2-inch. Baby number 2. Emily and Daniel already had a 3-year-old son. She was pregnant, and based on the caption, she was talking about Marcus. My husband's mistress was his brother's wife, and she was carrying his baby. I sat on my bathroom floor and understood what that $50,000 was really for. It wasn't a romantic escape fund. It was something darker. And when I discovered the burner phone hidden in his gym bag, I realized this affair was just the surface of something so much worse. I installed a tracking app on Marcus's phone using his iCloud credentials. His location history from the past month made my blood run cold. He'd been to Emily and Daniel's London house twice a week. Weekdays. Days he told me he was working late. He'd been there yesterday, the day Emily posted that pregnancy test. I checked his app usage logs. A second phone number kept appearing. He had a burner phone. I drove to his office car park, hands shaking on the wheel. His car was in its usual spot. The gym bag was in the boot. Beneath his workout clothes was a Samsung phone I'd never seen. It wasn't locked. The text thread with E2 hearts had over 3,000 messages. I scrolled to the beginning. May 3rd. The day after I told Marcus I was pregnant. Marcus, I can't do this anymore. Be married to someone I don't love. Not when I'm falling for you. Marcus, don't say things you don't mean. Marcus, I mean it. I think I've always meant it. Since before you married Daniel. Before she married Daniel. 15 years ago. I forced myself to keep reading, skipping through months. The affair started emotional. Then June came. Daniel's away. Come over. Marcus. Charlie will wonder where I am. Tell her you're at mine helping me. She'll believe you. She believes everything. She was right. The messages got explicit. Plans for hotels. Complaints about their spouses. Marcus. She's showing now. I can barely look at her. Baby's not yours? Marcus, it is. That's the problem.
I'm trapped.
You're not trapped. You're just scared. Marcus, we need money. Enough to disappear. I scrolled to last night. Sent at 1:47 a.m.
I'm pregnant.
Marcus, what? It's yours. Has to be. Daniel and I haven't slept together in months. Marcus, we said we'd be careful. I thought I was. I can't have another baby with Daniel thinking it's his. I can't do that to him again. Again. Oliver. The 3-year-old.
Marcus est son.
I need to leave him tonight. I need money. Somewhere to go. Abortion money. Legal fees if Daniel tries to get Oliver. Maybe £50,000? Marcus. It's everything we have saved. I know.
I'm sorry.
Marcus. I'll do it. For us. And he had. While I slept pregnant with his daughter, he transferred our entire future to her. I love you. This is going to work. Marcus, I know.
Soon it'll just be us.
I sat in his car holding that phone, and something inside me broke. But then I noticed something odd. Emily's messages were too perfect. Too calculated. She'd known exactly what to say to make Marcus drain our account at 2 a.m. And why would she post about being pregnant on Instagram if she was planning to get an abortion? She wouldn't. Unless she wanted someone to see it. I checked her followers. Daniel. Marcus's entire family.
Me.
What if Emily wasn't planning to leave Daniel at all? What if she was setting Marcus up? I created a fake Instagram account and messaged her. I know about you and Marcus. We need to talk. She replied in 5 minutes. Emily soulmate. Who is this? Me. Someone who knows what you're doing. Meet me tomorrow. 2 p.m. Piccadilly Station. Come alone, or I show Daniel the burner phone. Next morning. I'll be there. But when Emily sat down across from me at that cafe, what she told me made everything I thought I knew look like a fairy tale. The truth about Marcus, about their affair, about who was really manipulating who, it was so much darker than I could have imagined. Emily arrived 15 minutes late, sunglasses inside, face drawn. She sat down and said nothing. "Take off the glasses."
She did.
Red eyes. Terrified. "How much did you actually get from him?" I asked. "Charlotte, it's not what you think." "Then tell me." She swallowed. "Daniel's having an affair. For 2 years. I found out 6 months ago." I blinked. "So, you seduced his brother?"
No.
"Marcus came on to me last May. I was vulnerable. It happened once. Only once. The messages say different. I wrote those messages to trap him." She leaned in. "Charlotte, your husband has been obsessed with me since I was 19. He told me he only married you because I was already with Daniel. When I got pregnant with Daniel's baby, Marcus lost it. Started saying the baby was his, that I needed to leave Daniel. I knew if I didn't play along, he'd destroy everything." My stomach turned. "So the 50,000 was my evidence." She pulled out her phone. "I didn't keep it. I transferred it back to your account this morning." I checked. She was right. 50,000 pounds returned, and I'm showing Daniel tonight. The messages, the pattern, everything. But Charlotte, she slid a folder across the table. "Marcus has been doing this to women for years." Inside were screenshots, messages between Marcus and women I recognized, wives of his colleagues, a cousin's wife, 8 years of messages. Before me, during me, he took 30,000 pounds from Helen Bradshaw, Emily said, told her they'd run away together. She left her husband. He ghosted her. She had a breakdown. Helen, she'd been at our wedding. "Why show me this?" "Because you deserve to know who you married. And because when I tell Daniel, Marcus will say I'm lying. But if we both come forward, I'm 8 months pregnant. I know." Her eyes filled with tears. "And I'm sorry, but he'll do this again. Maybe to your daughter when she's older. He needs to be stopped." I closed the folder, stood up, walked out. 3 days later, I called a family meeting at Marcus's parents' house. When we arrived, Daniel and Emily were there. Marcus's parents in the living room, and Detective Inspector Walsh from Greater Manchester Police at the dining table. Marcus went white. I placed the burner phone on the table. "The folder. The bank statements. You've been stealing from our account," I said calmly. "Conducting multiple affairs. Defrauding women of over 200,000 pounds. Planning to abandon your pregnant wife." Marcus looked at Emily. "You didn't keep a penny," she cut him off. "Every woman you've manipulated is willing to testify."
The Walsh stood.
"Marcus Hayes, I'm arresting you." "Charlie, please." He reached for me. I stepped back, hand on my belly. "Don't ever touch me again." They took him away in handcuffs while his mother sobbed. Marcus was charged 3 weeks later. 5 women came forward. Over 200,000 pounds in fraud. His career was over. Emily and Daniel started counseling. She messaged saying she'd always be grateful I gave her strength to come forward. I gave birth to Isla on a Tuesday in October. She has his dark eyes and my freckles. When she looks at me, I see only her future, not his past. I moved near my mum. Used the 50,000 for a house with a garden. Some ask if Marcus can see Isla. The answer is no, because some betrayals are too fundamental. And my daughter deserves to grow up knowing her mother protected her from the man who would have stolen her future before she was even born. If you've stayed until the end, I need you to know. I'm telling this because someone should have warned me. That love can be a weapon. That family can be a lie. That the person beside you can be a stranger. If this resonates with you, if you felt that doubt, don't ignore it. I did for too long. You're not alone. More stories are waiting under the telling tree. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back for the next one.